Hey, sustaining members through Patreon. Thank you so much for keeping us going and showing your support. And I hope these little bonuses are helpful for you. But keep in mind, I'm totally open for whatever you want. So just let me know what would be helpful for you. Today, I thought I'd show you some of my personal tricks for doing some self massage to sort of the back of the leg area. And I just find this is a tricky area for a lot of people to figure out the right pressure and technique that isn't just rubbing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with just using your hands, but obviously hands get tired and sometimes it's hard to get the right amount of pressure. So, other than just using your hands, and if you use your hands, doing good squeeze, and go ahead and add a little movement back and forth, pointing and flexing. And then you can always just use your knuckles to rub along the edge as well. But that's the more obvious one. One of the ones that I really like, because I can do it while I'm lying in bed, because it's really relaxing, is I can use my knee on my calf. So I'm like reclining, in this case against my bookshelf, but you could do, again, in bed, on the couch, wherever works for you. And I use the pressure of my knee on the back or on my calf area, gastroc and soleus. And you can sort of rub around, massage, and then find a point. And again, this is a really easy place to move the ankle, sort of get a little deeper. So using your own body parts, you can also, of course, use your own foot as well. But I find the knee is a really great one. And if I wasn't wearing any, if I was wearing shorter pants, then I could use some massage oil, which would be really helpful knee to calf as well. So other options for getting pressure on the back of the calf and working out some of those really chronic tightness in there is to use balls of any size and sort of hardness. The bigger and softer, the more gentle it's going to be, and the smaller and the harder, the more intense it's going to be. I'm going to start with the big guy. So if I come back here and I just place the ball against the lowest part of my ankle, and then I actually use my own body weight to sit back on it. And then rock back and forth, and find a nice spot. And then you can, if that's not the spot, move it up. And just sort of play with the angle. Now for many, this ankle position, as you know from Yin, this sometimes is too intense. So just like any other time, we can sort of prop it up. And I can actually go pretty high. And going up high relieves that pressure on my ankle. Right? But it also gives me the opportunity to move my ankle a little bit while still giving my calf here the pressure from the ball, and that pressure I can regulate by how much body weight I put on the ball. So and then of course I can just do that with the smaller ball. And just using my hands, I could use other props, I could use a chair to just adjust where I want to put the pressure and how much pressure I'm putting on that point. Wherever you find a point, when you find a spot that you really feels like it needs a little work, try to not rush through. Try to take a couple deep breaths. Just like in Yin, send that signal to your body that it's not in danger, that it cannot resist the implement or the pressure. You're sort of encouraging a little release. And then when your body stops fighting it quite so much, and then adding some movement can really help sustain that release when the ball is gone. So another object that I'm a really big fan of is some sort of round implement. This is just a nice chunk of PVC that we have for something else entirely. And you can certainly be creative when you look around for. That's how I came up with this. But this is basically the same idea. I am using my own body weight, but the nice thing about this is that I can rock back and forth, creating a little different pressure and a little different kind of movement, and sort of change the angle in that area. So those are just some of the things I like to do, but you might find all sorts of other ones. Be creative, be inventive, using your own body parts to massage yourself, using other things you have around the house. There's nothing wrong with grabbing just a butter knife and using some gentle, superficial scraping on the top of your skin. So have fun, see what feels good. It's a great way to start a yin practice.